One gun-toting Texan made a video recently on a very interesting subject. Um, this isn't a video response so much as a continuation of the discussion and my points of view on the topic. The topic is people that go to the trouble of getting a concealed handgun permit, concealed weapons permit, whatever your state may call it, and then they don't bother to carry afterward. I know in many circles on here in our YouTube gun clique, it's the gun clique. uh, people encourage a very high percentage of carry, meaning if you get a concealed carry permit, you carry all the time, except in areas where it's explicitly prohibited by law. Uh, in the case of Texan, his problem is with his friends. They all went to these courses at the same time, and he seems to be the only one among them that still carries. Uh, I would like to point out that people do things for all kinds of reasons. You know, when when I think about my interest in firearms and weapons and things like that, my interest in those things is not the usual level of interest. It's a very high level of interest. I know we've all seen it before when you get a group of folks together and y'all go to the range and they'll go once, maybe twice a year. Or like if they are going to go with you, they go 1 month, and then the next month there's less people, and then so on and so forth until you end up being the only person going. I think it's the same way with the concealed carry thing. People like the idea of being armed in a situation, but when the reality of it hits, they just don't have the interest in it the way that some of the rest of us do. Now, an interesting thing about being armed, when when I think about the situation where Jared Loeffner went crazy, started shooting all those people in Arizona, I don't think, me personally, that would have been a situation where I would have taken my handgun. Um, like a political rally type event, and even if I did, the situation, you got a madman shooting in the middle of a crowd. I personally, if he's got people all around him, I don't think I'm going to be able to take the shot either. If there's people around him and behind him, and I'm more than 20 yards away, I can't take that shot. So I don't know if people maybe see the reality of that, or they're just not that into it. Think about how many people you know that they buy a gun and it just sort of sits. They buy a crap ton of bullets too. Shoot, we got sold out of 380 a few years ago, back in 2008, because people would buy a belly gun and then buy like 3 cases of ammo for it. Uh, Same thing goes for the people that bought like AK-47s and whatever. They'll buy like an AK-47, 3 cases of ammo, and never go to the range and that kind of thing. My thought is I wouldn't be too hard on your people. You know, if you know that a person doesn't carry, I mean that's their that's their own thing, man. And people are into different stuff for all kinds of reasons. And if a person finds out later on they're not that interested in it, then so be it. You would think, though, in the case of the Texan there, his friend had a whole bunch of these fallback uh, excuses for not carrying. You would think that your friend would be a little bit more able to be honest with you. Say, you know what, it just doesn't occur to me. I don't. The longer it goes, where I don't think, oh gee whiz, if only I had a gun, the less I feel like carrying it. And I think too, there's two ways to look at the topic. If you would be the type of person that carries and you need a license to do so legally, is a very different story than a person who gets their license because they think they may want to carry or may have to carry. The people that want to be armed tend to be armed one way or another. Hopefully, I touched on the points I meant to. But this is a great subject, and I know it's one of those things that I don't think we see a lot of room for for to not carry. But all kinds of people, man, all kinds of people. Anyway, y'all take care. Have a great week.